What if the strongest man in the world was not defeated by an army, but by his own choices? This is the story of Samson, a man blessed with incredible strength, chosen by God before he was even born. He could tear a lion apart with his bare hands and defeat enemies all by himself. Yet for all his strength, Samson struggled with self-control, pride, and temptation. His life shows us that strength without wisdom can be dangerous, and that even after great failure, God's mercy can still reach a person. Samson's story begins before he was born. At that time, the people of Israel were suffering under the rule of the Philistines. They cried out to God for help. One day, an angel appeared to a woman who could not have children and told her she would give birth to a son. This child would be set apart for God from birth. He was not to drink alcohol, touch anything unclean, or cut his hair. His long hair would be a sign of his special calling. The angel said this boy would begin to save Israel from the Philistines. When Samson was born, God blessed him. As he grew, the Spirit of the Lord gave him extraordinary strength. But while Samson was strong on the outside, he often struggled on the inside. As a young man, Samson fell in love with a Philistine woman, even though the Philistines were enemies of his people. His parents warned him, but he refused to listen. On his way to visit her, a lion attacked him. Samson tore the lion apart with his bare hands. Later, he returned and found honey inside the dead lion and ate it, breaking his vow to God. At his wedding, Samson challenged the Philistines with a riddle. When they threatened his wife, she pressured him until he revealed the answer. The Philistines won the bet, and Samson became furious. Violence followed, and conflict grew. Again and again, Samson used his strength for revenge instead of purpose. God continued to empower him, but Samson continued to make careless choices. At one point, the Philistines captured Samson and tied him up. But when the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, the ropes broke like weak thread. Using nothing but a donkey's jawbone, Samson defeated 1,000 Philistine soldiers. It was clear that his strength did not come from his muscles. It came from God. Still, Samson trusted his power more than he trusted God. Later, Samson fell in love with a woman named Delilah. The Philistine leaders offered her money to discover the secret of Samson's strength. Day after day, she asked him. At first, Samson lied to her, but she kept pressing him, wearing him down until he finally told her the truth. He said his strength was connected to his hair, which had never been cut. One night, while Samson slept, Delilah cut his hair. When the Philistines attacked, Samson tried to fight as before, but his strength was gone. He did not realize that God's presence had left him. The Philistines captured him, blinded him, and put him in prison. The strongest man in the world was now weak, blind, and chained. While Samson sat in prison, something began to change. His hair slowly grew back. More importantly, his heart began to change. For the first time, Samson humbled himself before God. One day, the Philistines gathered in a large temple to celebrate Samson's capture. They brought him out to entertain them. The building was filled with people. Blind and leaning on the pillars, Samson prayed a simple prayer. He asked God to remember him and give him strength one last time. God answered. Samson pushed against the pillars with all his strength. The building collapsed, killing the Philistine leaders and Samson himself. In his death, Samson defeated more enemies than he had during his entire life. Samson's story teaches us powerful lessons. Strength without discipline can destroy us. God's gifts should never be taken for granted. Small compromises can lead to great consequences. But failure does not cancel God's mercy. Even after Samson's greatest mistake, God still listened to his prayer. God can still use a broken person who turns back to him. Samson was strong on the outside, but weak on the inside. Yet even in his weakness, God's purpose was not defeated. His story reminds us of a simple truth. God is not finished with us, even when we fail. Subscribe for more interesting Bible stories.